Hey everybody, it's episode 27 of the 2-Minute Terminator, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. My charming co-host, who I never call in early enough apparently in the preamble, is Ellie Fitzgerald.
Hello.
How's that, Ellie?
That was amazing. I feel like I'm actually part of the show now.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
It is episode 27. We're going from minutes 52 to 54, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. And it opens with Sarah Connor saying, "He traced his finger across my hand." And it ends with Sarah Connor again saying, "I was raised by a machine to destroy robots or cyborgs and to avert a nuclear apocalypse." I can't even say it.
Ethan.
Yes, we do break the Terminator films down 2 minutes at a time. We deconstruct them. We dismantle them along with Ellie.
Basically, we completely rip it apart and discuss how rubbish it can be and how good it can be. And hit the music.
I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Load up.
You didn't do the fourth. Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
Yes, we are back. Hello, if you're just joining us as a new listener, welcome.
If you are new,
Who is it? Sterling Fox is a new fan. Someone wrote in yesterday. Is it Sterling Fox? Sorry, Sterling, for butchering your name.
Either way,
he's going to pop up on my screen in a second.
Amazing. Do you not think?
What, Sterling?
Yeah, that's an awesome name. Plus, it makes me think of Archer, because his name is Sterling Archer, and he's like the most badass ever. Ethan, if you
my apologies,
if you were
Fox
secret agent-
Sterling. There we go. New listener, welcome to the show, Fox Sterling, and welcome to Sahid Ali Khan. He also has hooked into the show. We've got lots of Indian listeners, Ellie. I like this.
Do you reckon they can understand us though? Or is it like a follow?
Of course they can. It's like a reverse phone call for a big company when they farm out the phone calls and stuff.
I know, but is it like when... Oh, you don't have Instagram. You get like some people will just follow you so that you follow them back. And if you don't follow them back, they'll just unfollow you straight away. It's like...
Well, also we've got... here we go. Listen to this. Mukhtar Suabi. I'm assuming that's India again. I don't know. I apologise if that's not where you're from, Mukhtar. Or Mokhtar. Aid Bakari, he's from Oakland, California. Anna McDermott, I'm assuming these are people you know from
Anna
this point.
McDermott, yeah, she's really cool. She's from Dorking.
Uang Lei, Yoni Mendoza.
They are not Dorking.
Kalpesh Padre. Yeah, we've got Wade Palmer. Ooh.
Ooh.
So yeah, we've got lots of new listeners this week.
Garrett.
So welcome everybody. If you are just joining us, this is the 2 Minute Terminator, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time ad infinitum. I keep saying this because it annoys Ellie. And we are in fact going, as I said before, from minutes 52 to 54, the 2 minutes bridging that gap.
And it's episode 27, and that's my age. Magical episode.
Yes, exactly. I know. It's quite a pivotal scene, actually, because there's quite a lot of kind of expositional dialogue. And not only that, it makes me even more confused because Sarah Connor draws her finger down a young Jai Courtney Carl Reese's hand as a boy in an alternate timeline, yet he remembers that. And all this White Knight can do is go... All I could think about was how hot she was, basically.
Ugh.
Which is...
Literally my... Okay, so one thing...
Duplicity personified. He's worse. In fact, he is the Terminator. He's infiltrating her mind, gaining her trust. He doesn't just intend to destroy her. He just wants to destroy her. Anyway. Ellie, you have questions? You have notes?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just talking over me. Oh, I see.
No.
Yeah, so no, two things. One did buck the trend because in this particular 2 minutes, I actually agree with Sarah's angst. That's a first. And secondly, it has just further made me dislike Jai Courtney because he's such a douche. So the first thing I wrote down about this particular 2 minutes was that she got really, really freaked out when Jai said, just follow the path and go straight or whatever, and like rubbed his finger in her palm. Now, what she actually said isn't actually that similar. The thing that is similar is the whole hand, palm, finger following through a straight line. So that's a little bit of a, not a cock up, But I would have thought that if they were going to try and relay that as like a, oh, you know, this is going to freak her out because it makes her think of her dad, that they would have got it word for word, but it's actually not. What her dad said was actually quite different. It was like, swim forward and don't turn back.
That could be from Jaws.
I know! I was like, that could be a fluke. But the whole hand thing, yeah, that would probably freak you out a little bit.
Again, Ellie, you've kind of explained this to me before, and so has a listener, James Spalding, who wrote it, of course. So,
What's confusing you?
what have we agreed on? The T-1000 destroys their boat or kills the dad, and he
So I
goes,
have a further
hey, swim
question.
away and don't look back.
Yeah, so what you said last time, because I didn't understand how the T-1000 appeared to pour from underneath the boat. And you said, oh, well, it's probably because... Oh, no, because the T-1000 fires, blows up the cabin, and because she's under the jetty, and then it comes from the bottom of where the cabin was. But no. Not at all. What happens is she is on the boat, so she's far away, so she's looking back at her mum, who's on the jetty waving at her. Then that explodes. Then the boat starts sinking, but then again, why is the liquid metal under the boat? I really don't get that. I also don't understand how liquid metal could work in water, because obviously it's a liquid itself. So would it not just disperse? Obviously there were water Terminators, but they were completely different. They were solid, and obviously in a different film. But
Well, no, because the T1, if it is a T-1000, what else could it be, really? But yes, it's a machine, isn't it? So it
goes along.
No, exactly. So the mom is on the jetty.
Yeah, she's back at home.
They're on the boat a little way out into the lake or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then the jetty explodes.
Yeah.
Now, in this very scene, we see a young Arnold Schwarzenegger, Pops, or a young Pops before he collects Sarah from under the jetty. Did he with a smoking rocket launcher? So are we to believe that he killed her mom?
Well, this is what I'm actually thinking. I think he did. I think. Mom, no.
Who wrote this? This makes no sense.
I know.
In a sense, in a way, this actually makes less sense than the other 2, 3, and 4.
I know. But I think that's kind of what happened. I think it was kind of a kill your mum to save the future. You know, the death of one is a...
I think they've either not thought about this, or they've tried to be so clever to we're going to put loads of little Easter eggs and mysteries that will be unpacked and unsolved in the potential second and third films of this new trilogy that got cancelled. Yeah. Because I thought I was stupid, and so who kills the mum?
So
I thought the mum and dad... Okay.
Please do carry on.
No, I'm just thinking, what happened to the T-1000 then? If the primary target was Sarah Connor, why wouldn't it come after her still? Why did she not mention that there was a giant battle between the T-800 and the then T-1000 over her life?
I know.
He obviously defeated it.
Why didn't the T-1000...
And he walks off into the sunset.
Yeah. Why didn't the T-1000 just wait until they'd come back from fishing, they're all sat down around the table eating kipper, and then he could have just done the job there and then? Easy. This T-1000's he's pretty dumb, man. It's also that we first find out as she's kind of reminiscing on this memory that she has of her dad, and then Jai, and she says, how could you know that? His last words, hey. And he said, well, it was you, you came to me when I was a kid and you told me this, and she doesn't seem shocked at all. And also, he's just dropped into conversation. So when he said it before, he just said, I have this memory of seeing myself at home with my parents. The world hasn't been destroyed. I'm all happy. It's my birthday. And then he just grabs her hand when he puts the chip back in her palm, and then says, just follow the line straight forward and don't look back or whatever. But at no stage has he actually said, oh, it was you that said that. He just really casually drops it into conversation, and she just takes it like it's gospel. It's like, hang on a second, Sarah. Are you now not questioning that you're in his alternate reality, his alternate timeline? Would you not? She just kind of sits there and just looks at him. It's just like, I don't get this girl. So yeah, she was going
to ask a question. Sorry, Evelyn. Have you got your headphones in, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Oh, excellent.
Why?
You're very faint. It's all right.
Oh. Let me make sure they're plugged
Oh, that's
in.
much better.
Oh, let me just make sure they're plugged in properly.
No, you just sound like you're right next to the mic now. Yeah, perfectly.
Oh, I think
sounds much better.
Maybe it wasn't attached properly. I do apologise, listeners, and Ethan.
Oh, that's it. Exactly. Stay like that. That's amazing.
Oh, I'm actually holding the mouthpiece closer to my face. These are the headphones that you gave me, so maybe they're not actually Apple. But the volume is classic, so that's the most important thing.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I was going to say, Ali, did you know, and listeners, Jai Courtney's Carl Reese and Emilia Clarke, who played Sarah Connor, they were both born in 1986. It's like Sophie.
Same year as Sophie and same year as my brother.
Which makes them 30 years younger than the original Reese and Connor actors Michael Biehn and Linda Hamilton, the originals from the Terminator in 1984. Biehn and Hamilton were both born in 1956. This also means that Jai and Emilia are only 1 year older than Biehn and Hamilton when they were portrayed in their respective character ages, since Terminator Genisys was released 31 years after Terminator 1, which is in 1984.
God, that's nuts to think it's 30 years.
Well, it's 32 years now, actually.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Let's not split hairs.
I was going to say, it's not the first time Emilia Clarke has appeared nude on screen, Ellie. I know you're a big fan of seeing her naked flesh. She appears nude, obviously, to the listeners in Game of Thrones. You don't need to actually watch Game of Thrones to see that. You can just type in Emilia Clarke nude, and you can see a million gifs of her getting razzle-dazzled by Jason Momoa from behind in various
so is that meant to be her
forms and fashions. No, he's like this big. He's a Dothraki. They're like a barbarian warrior race, like Conan type people.
Oh, I think you sent me a GIF. He looks like a bit of
and she gets sold not as a slave, but kind of as a wife to this guy by her unscrupulous and it's maybe incestuous brother. And he just rides off with her up the mountain, and then they cut to just him going, just like, just bashing her. Although Sarah is naked in this film, Terminator Genisys, there is no full frontal nudity because we don't want to offend Middle America, do we? The scene where Sarah and Carl arrive in 2017, Ellie, bare naked in the middle of freeway, is an obvious nod, which is season 6 we're coming to, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Yes, Ellie, we are doing it.
Lynn.
In the pilot, episode 1 of 1, season 1, Sarah, John, and Cameron, I guess that's a nod to James, arrive in 2007 in the middle of a freeway, bare naked.
Can I just ask one question?
Do you like owls?
Do you like owls? I read today in the paper, this does kind of relate to what we're talking about because it has Emilia Clarke in it, but a genuine question. I read today in the Metro that some viewers, 7 in total, were outraged by Sunday's episode of Poldark because there is a scene where Poldark, he's gone to his ex's house, he pushes her down
got a fleshlight.
the bed. That was before the days. That's when they just had to like stick their doodah in like warm manure. I'm feeding the cows. We don't have any cows. Shut up. So he kind of forces himself upon his ex, and at first she kind of struggles, but because she's actually married to somebody else, but really deep down she wants it, and then she kind of gives in, and it's all hot and passionate. So 7 viewers called in and complained about it and said that it was like rapey, and it's showing a woman that just submits to a man and blah blah blah. How can that be complained about? And yet Game of Thrones is full of rape, incest, like it's like. I don't understand where people come from and why it's not like Poldark's on at 6 o'clock in the evening when kids are up and about.
Two reasons, Ellie.
Why?
Game of Thrones is on HBO, so you have to pay or subscribe to HBO. You can't really get it just on TV. So a lot of
that's bollocks. You must be able to get it on Sky.
Yeah, you can, but it's just like. You know, I think people know what they're getting themselves in for.
It's all right. So it's all right to rape and
Do you not want to hear my explanation?
Brother and sister, if you're paying for it. Ridiculous. Yes, please carry on.
Well, it's obviously on terrestrial TV, so like any like little old lady who's settling down to watch Sunday night TV will be shocked to think that this shouldn't be a BBC program. Everyone has a preconceived idea. Like the Musketeers, if you will, is an action adventure show which doesn't really show any blood or anything, but people are like. They have fights, there's stuff, but it's very much a kind of young, I guess, children's program in a sense. It's just like an action adventure show, as I guess is Poldark.
I thought it was
a drama.
Divorcees thing.
Well, it is, but I think, like I said, how many people probably watch Poldark? Let's say 10 million. If 7 complain, That's not really even 1% of 1% of people that would be
But
offended
it
by
got into
that.
the paper. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know, these TV shows have to compete with those kind of things, and
They used
like
to show that-
sex does happen.
Maybe not incest, but I remember there being like rapes. Actually, no, there was incest. In bloody EastEnders years ago. I remember it was such a big thing. It was, oh, what's going to happen tonight? It was literally on the news. What's going to happen tonight? Is Zoe going to find out that Kat's actually her mum who got raped by her uncle? So actually, her uncle's her dad. That was fine. And EastEnders is one of the biggest sitcoms going, and that's on at like 6 o'clock in the evening. It's just the whole.
Again, it's because it's on terrestrial TV. All these kind of American shows like The Walking Dead, you have to kind of get AMC, or you have to literally pay
What I'm
a
saying is,
subscription to
It wasn't
HBO.
seen as a bad thing. The news was saying, oh, what's going to happen? It wasn't, oh, it's disgusting. They're showing incest in this program and, you know, underage sex and, you know, illegitimate children. That's not what they were saying. It was almost like, oh, it was basically, you know, tune in tonight to find out what happened to the Slater sisters. I just think I don't know, it's weird. I think because now we're in this, I feel like in literally the last 2 or 3 years, this whole let's just complain about absolutely anything and everything that isn't vanilla or black and white. It's just, ugh, people make me sick. Anyway, we've massively digressed. On to further complaining and, you know, modern day politics and what's morally right and what's morally wrong. I'm so glad that you mentioned White Knight at the beginning of this episode, Ethan, because I truly believe that in this scene, Jai has revealed his true agenda. He basically just wants to pork Sarah.
Well, yeah.
He's like,
I don't think in the original Terminator 1984, Michael Bihn's version of the character wanted to do that. I don't think.
He was actually there to protect her and to save her and to die.
His was a higher purpose. Yeah, this is just like some, you know, jock
All he's
who
done
wants
is
to.
complain, bitch about Pops, and just give her these like little stolen glimpses and looks and.
You know what would have made this film better if they had Bill Paxton's character from True Lies go back as Carl Reese.
Ass like a 10-year-old boy.
He just hold the suitcase, I'll be back, and he just runs off and comes back 2 days later and creates this web of intrigue.
Although her breast probably wouldn't yield buttermilk, that'd be like thick double cream.
The vet gets him wet.
The vet gets a wet. What about their husbands? Dickless. Sorry.
Or you, Mrs. Strassler.
What do you want for?
What do you
So we're
want
keeping
for?
it, you know, in in theme with Terminator because it's Arnold. She's loving it. She does this little bit where she kind of looks down, she just bites her lip and is like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's like, well, you knew you were going to say that. You've been waiting to say that all along. The only reason you've actually travelled back in time is to get your dick wet. And you just constantly complain. And this is the other thing. So if he's trying to like get in this chick's knickers, obviously he's trying to use the White Knight side of things, but then he completely unravels any hard work that he would have actually done due to the fact that she talks so highly about Pops, about how he was the one that saved her. He's the only one that's ever really been there for her. He's the only one she can rely on. And then he says, yeah, but he's not human. He's a machine. He's this. They infiltrate. He could have some other secret objectives that he doesn't even know about. He's this. He's that. It's just like, dude, shut up.
He kind of has a
No,
point,
he
though.
doesn't. What does Jai...
Well, he does. That's what a Terminator is meant to do. He's meant to infiltrate you, and just like almost
Infiltrate for what?
I'm trying to
20
think.
years?
No, but he might have some Order 66-esque program that could just like lay dormant, and then at a certain time it activates, and he just pulls Sarah's head off, which is like 28.
Yeah, but think about this. I mean, Ethan, I know you like to play the long game, but I think Arnold has trounced you on this one. The fact that they left him in 1980 whatever, and then he had to wait until 2017. Dude, you would have just killed her. Done.
No, because there might be some grander plan that Skynet's planning. Okay. All right, I don't know about the grand plan. I can't think of one right now, but I'm quite sure there's a grand plan.
I just think that Jai is just a massive douchebag, and yeah, he's massively white knighting. He's trying to, and also, so let's say that Sarah goes along with what Jai says. They somehow destroy Pops. Then what? Jai has showed absolutely no indication, as Arnold said in the last 2 minutes, that he's a fit guardian for Sarah. And now his judgment has been completely muddied by the fact that he wants to bone this chick. He will now not be able to make any kind of sensible decision or, I don't know, logical plan, because it's now just going to be tampered by emotion and lust and I don't know.
Well, I think anyone... Well, it's that Chris Rock joke, isn't it? Can I get that for you? Can I get you some dick? It's like every time a man offers to do anything for you, it's not an unselfish act. It's all because... probably even worse.
Ethan is a big hit with the gays, I will just say this right now.
I used to be a big hit with the gays. I think I'm losing my sex
that's
appeal.
Rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
I don't think so. You're still
I haven't changed my opinion either.
What did you think about the child actor that they chose to portray Emily as a young'un at 9 years old?
It doesn't.
Do you think? I thought it really looked like her. Have you actually watched this 2 minutes, Ethan?
Yes, but she reminds me of the boy from Jumanji.
The one that turns into a monkey, who weirdly looks like Nick Stahl.
All right, here's a counter question. Do you think the 1984 Arnold pops you see in this with the rocket launcher, as seen through the crack in the wooden jetty,
looks rubbish.
Is that just a regular axe with a rubber head on, or is that a youngified Arnold?
I think they should have chosen a youngified Arnold. I think they should have done what they did at the beginning of the film, and that is superimposed Arnold's face on his body. I think, especially when Arnold is actually walking away with Sarah. So he's kind of holding her and he's got his gun slung over his shoulder, and Sarah's looking back at the death and devastation that Arnold's just killed her parents. Mum, sorry. And even the back of this dude's head, he's got a really fat head. It's like there's no way that even looks like Arnold in any way, shape or form. His hair was never that coiffed either. I don't know. I thought it wasn't.
It's probably Hasselhoff.
It looks way more. If someone said to me that's the Hoff, I'd believe you way more than that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you not think? I don't know. My note literally just said Arnie's double.
I think also the girl being as big as she is, I think, you know what? The stuntman that's playing this part might be just really small, because she's got her arms around him, but she seems
big
like
for a 9-year-old.
Almost as big as... If he dropped her down and she stood next to him, she'd probably be above his shoulder.
Yeah, probably. Big for a 9-year-old, but then again, she's pretty big for a 20-year-old too. We do actually also see almost like a little trope in this 2 minutes. When she first sees Arnold, obviously we see him as we saw him in the first film. So that's when Arnold was bad. So there's that kind of, oh, is he good, is he bad? But then you see him put his hand down and Sarah puts her hand into his. Now, how many films, well, original classic films, have we seen where that happens? Exactly.
2.
So I thought that was a bit of a trope. It's the, come with me if you want to live. He just didn't say it.
No. No.
But yeah, my next note was, so did Arnie blow up Mom? I think he did. I think he did it for the greater good.
I don't know. It just seems like a really odd thing to actually put into the thing, because the way she explains, it's like, well, the jetty explodes. Why would that explode? So what? The T-1000 had a rocket launcher too, while it was morphing it out the base of a ship.
I'm more confused at the fact that the T-1000's in the water, or that the liquid metal was spilling out of the boat. I just don't. Was the T-1000 actually her dad? No, because he told her to swim forward, keep going, and don't turn back. And that's exactly what she did. And also, if it's a T-1000, how is a 9-year-old going to get away from a T-1000, hiding under a jetty or not?
That's a good question.
I haven't changed my
I've got a cock-up for you, Ellie, remarkably. In the last part of the movie, it takes place in 2017. That's where we are now in the film. When it is explained that Genisys is taking over a military to... it is explained that Genisys, the program, a bit like Google, is taking over the military. The 2 missiles that are shown, this is obviously later in the film, so my cock-ups are still a cock-up. See what I did there? The first missile shown is a Nike Hercules, or a Nike Hercules. The last of those units were deactivated in 1988, so they couldn't actually be around in was it 2017? The second is a Hawk, which went out of service in the US in 2002. Obviously, that wouldn't exist in 2017 either. That has nothing to do with the clip we're talking about, which is also a
We're just
cock-up.
keeping with tradition.
Exactly.
Do you have any more cock-ups?
I don't, no, not at all. Just like Jai Courtney, kind of like going, you can't trust Arnold. He's basically cock blocking or pot blocking.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's what this episode should be called. Pot blocking.
Pot blocking.
That's got to be a best for a while, actually.
Ellie, we need to record some sort of ad, I think, for getting people to subscribe to this show or give us money, because we do this for free.
It's taking the piss.
If you want to donate any money, listeners, you can do it through our Patreon account, or you can donate through ethanmckinley.com, so we can keep the lights on. We spent an inordinate amount of money to make this show.
Whether that's train tickets going from Birmingham to Surrey or from Surrey to Birmingham. Ethan's probably spent about 10 grand on equipment.
Buying the equipment to birth this show, taking days off work to make sure the show happens. We've had some angry letters, one from John Nichols going, "Where's the show?" I was like, "We've got something coming out right now."
We're doing our best.
And also, listeners, we saw the day before yesterday John Carpenter live, the auteur, film director of such classics as Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, The Fog, Escape from New York, The Thing, Starman, Christine, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness.
They Live.
The Village of the Damned. Did I say They Live? Yeah, They Live. I think They Live was the last. They Live, I think, and then maybe In the Mouth of Madness are the last kind of what people consider the good ones, and then he did Village of the Damned, Ghosts of Mars, and The Ward, which weren't critically. But you know what? I'm going to actually rewatch that. I've never seen Village of the Damned. I've only seen bits that went ugh and turned it off, and I've only seen Ghosts of Mars once, despite owning it on DVD because I was a John Carpenter completist.
Well, apparently not.
Big Trouble in Little China too. But yeah, he played most of his hits.
Yes, he did, and it was absolutely amazing. I thoroughly
Did you enjoy
myself.
yourself?
I think it's.
Ellie got recognised by the auteur himself, the master, apparently waving.
He blew me a
What did he do
kiss
to you?
as he left the stage. I was very happy. But probably because I was the youngest person in that room, and he's like, "Oh, I've actually reached someone under the age of 50."
Holy shit! New pussy.
I thought she was a boy, but upon closer inspection, I saw she was trans.
Yeah, John Carpenter is actually, I think, this week. By the time you get this message, you'll have missed it, but it is in Coventry in the West Midlands. John Carpenter is appearing there. He's appearing at the Troxy on the 20... Is it the 31st and then the 1st of November, which is the Friday and the Sunday in London for a Halloween. Halloween's actually sold out, but you can see him on the 1st, and you can still see him on
I know a few people
Coventry
actually
as well,
that are really interested in going, so I might actually go again.
Well, the Halloween one's actually sold out. The November the 1st one is still available. The one I think prior to that is Ireland, which you can't get to, in Coventry, which is actually
it would
near
be
me.
the first at the Troxy, so I might be going to that. Who knows? I'll see. But yeah, I know a few people.
Wow.
That...
You're going to get to the front again. They'd be like, "Oh my god!" I think if they saw you again at the front, you'd probably like get
I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't have to pay 150 quid to get a signature on my tits." Sorry.
If that does happen, Ellie, get your phone out and go, "John, can you do a plug and go, this is the 2-minute, I'm John Carpenter and you should listen to the 2-minute Terminator."
Well, actually, no, it won't happen in time. But you really need to get some business cards made so that when stuff like this happens, you can just give them a card.
I know. I keep meeting famous people, but it's always in a role of servitude.
Anyway, do you have any more that you want to add to this particular 2 minutes?
I have nothing more to give, Ellie.
Come on, people. You can donate some money to Patreon. Come on, he's got nothing more to give. The little rabbits.
It's for you as well. It's just to cover your expenses.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. When are we going to go on the Podbean? Wednesday.
Well, this week I'm going to get the artwork sorted for the show, and then hopefully when we re-upload
iTunes,
it,
yes,
we'll actually have it on
please do leave us a
iTunes, which I think has
review.
mired our downloads somewhat because it's a picture of me from Questionable on the 2-Minute Terminator, which I think just creates utter confusion. If you want to actually watch the clip we're talking about in question, Mystery Science Theatre 3K style, we do an in-video commentary every day. Unlike all the other minute shows, you can actually watch the clip we're talking about on YouTube at 2-Minute Terminator on YouTube. So check that out. As Ellie said on Facebook, if you go on the Facebook 2-Minute Terminator page, we've got a plethora of the clips we're actually talking about, of course, in the video section. And in the still section, the photo section, you can see endless production art, special effects work, behind the scenes, actors, posters, toys, the whole everything. I think we've got the greatest collection of pictures beyond even some of the Terminator fan sites. So do check it out and like the page. Thanks, Kerpal.
But yes, as we sign off.
Thanks, Sterling Fox.
Yes, thank you. And I'm
I've been Ethan McKinley.
La Vista.
Hasta.
Oh, we totally fucked this up.
La Vista, baby. Oh, you blew it. Bye.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines. They will rule the world.